Okay, so today we're diving into a book with a title that is, well, it's a mouthful. The Illustrated Encyclopedia of Qimen Dunjia. Sounds like something straight out of a fantasy novel, right? But what it promises is pretty incredible, a way to unlock some of the most ancient strategic secrets. So let's get into it and see what's actually inside. So, before we even crack this thing open, let me ask you a question. What if you could map out time and space to guarantee success? I mean, seriously. Is there a way to pinpoint the exact right moment to make your move, whether it's in business, a negotiation, or, just in life? This is the huge idea at the very heart of what we're looking at today. Right. So to get what this book is all about, we got to first understand the system behind it. We're talking about Qimen Dunjia. And look, this isn't just some fringe thing. It's a legendary, super sophisticated system from Chinese metaphysics. People call it the highest of the three arts. And for thousands of years, it's been the go-to for getting a strategic edge in, well, pretty much anything.
And when I say anything, I mean the scope is just staggering. I mean, we're talking legends of emperors and generals using this as their secret weapon to win battles and hold on to power. Fast forward to today, and you've got people using it for everything from massive business deals to just figuring out their own lives. At its core, it's all about one thing: seeing the invisible patterns that shape every single situation.
Okay, so that brings up a huge problem, right? If this system is so powerful, so ancient, so complex, I mean, how are we supposed to even start to learn it? It's famously wrapped in all these layers of mystery. It's not exactly Qimen Dunjia for dummies.
And that is exactly where this book comes in. The key to figuring out what it does and why it's so helpful is actually hiding in plain sight. It's right there in that super long, complicated title. Seriously, the name itself is our roadmap. So let's just decode it one piece at a time.
Okay, first up, Qimen Dunjia. It roughly translates to mystical doors, hidden Jia. Think of it like this. In any situation, there are 8 different doors or paths you can take. The Jia is you, or your main goal, the most important piece on the board. The whole game is about hiding your intention and then choosing the perfect door at the exact right time to make your move. It's all about timing and position.
But wait, it gets even more specific. The title includes the term Yin Dun. Now, the whole system of Qimen Dunjia is basically split in two. You've got Yang, which is all about action, and Yin, which is about stillness and planning. And this book, it doesn't even try to cover the whole thing. Nope, it focuses only on the Yin Dun. This is the stuff you use for defense, for planning, for building your power when no one's watching. It's the art of the silent, deadly effective move. So just how deep does it go? Well, the last piece of the puzzle is right there in the number, 540 June, or 540 structures. What this means is, this book isn't just some introduction. It is a complete, detailed encyclopedia of every single one of the 540 possible strategic charts for the entire yin side of the system. That's insane. It's a massive library of every possible strategic moment. So yeah, when you put all those pieces together, you see what this book really is. It is not a beginner's guide. It's not just a book about Qimen Dunjia. It's a hardcore reference manual, a deep dive encyclopedia into one very specific, very massive part of it, those 540 yin structures. All right, so what in the world are these 540 structures we keep talking about? The easiest way to wrap your head around it is to imagine a kind of cosmic library. And in this library, there are 540 books, each one a perfect blueprint for a very specific strategic moment in time.
Yeah, 540. Just let that number sit there for a second. We're not talking about a dozen broad strategies here. We're talking about a detailed catalog of 540 unique situations. Every single one represents a different slice of time, each with its own unique set of opportunities and pitfalls.
So here's the simplest way to picture it. Every one of those 540 structures is basically a map. It's a chart that shows you exactly where all the cosmic energies are, the stars, the stems, those doors we mentioned, for a specific 2-hour block of time. It's like getting a snapshot of all the invisible forces pulling the strings at that exact moment.
So, how would you actually use one of these maps? Well, conceptually, it's a pretty clear process. First, you figure out which chart applies to the current time. Easy enough. Then, you look at the map and find the important stuff, those mystical doors. Next, you analyze how everything is interacting with each other. And then, boom. Based on that analysis, you figure out the absolute best strategy for what you're trying to do.
Okay, but here's the catch. Analyzing the relationships That's the really, really hard part. And that brings us to maybe the single most important word in this entire book's title, illustrated. This one word is what makes this book a total game changer.
See, traditionally, to learn this stuff, you had to pore over these ancient, dense, super poetic texts for years. But an illustrated guide, it just flips the whole script. It takes all those complicated relationships and just lays them out in one clean diagram. All of a sudden, patterns that were buried in pages of text just pop right out at you. You can see them instantly.
You know that old saying, a picture is worth 1,000 words? Well, in the world of Qimen Dunjia, it's more like a picture is worth 1,000 painful calculations. It makes something that was almost impossible to grasp suddenly clear.
So where does that leave us? What this all adds up to is that this book is basically a bridge. It's a bridge connecting this incredibly deep ancient wisdom to our modern world. It takes this esoteric knowledge and repackages it for a world that needs information to be clear, fast, and something you can actually use.
All right, let's just boil it all down. What we have here is a book from 2009 by an author named Tang Yi. And as we figured out just by looking at the title, it focuses laser tight on those 540 Yin Dun structures. Its entire reason for existing is to be a crystal clear visual reference guide. It's all about practical application, not getting lost in the mystery. And that right there is the biggest takeaway. What the author has managed to do is pretty amazing. They've taken this incredibly esoteric, almost unlearnable art form and turned it into a practical manual you can put on your shelf. By making it visual and organized, it basically opens the door for anyone. It kind of democratizes this ancient knowledge.
So I'll leave you with this one last thought to chew on. Is a system like this really about predicting the future, or is it something way more powerful? Maybe it's more like a mirror, one that shows you all the hidden forces at play in the present moment, giving you the power to absolutely master your next move. What do you think? It's a pretty cool idea to consider.